Hey, what's going on? If you want to get a complete system that makes melting fat easy and is 100% automated, then I want you to go to the link that's on the bottom of your page right now. YouTube doesn't let me make that link clickable, so you're actually gonna have to type it into your browser, or I also put the copy of the link in the description, so you can click on that or type it into your browser. All right. For now, enjoy the video, and after you're done with this video, make sure to go to that link to get a complete fat melting system.
Hey, what's going on? Today we got a really cool concept on nutrition, and this one concept is kind of like an inner game slash nutrition concept that's really going to help you to take food more seriously. And what I mean by that is that food is a very socially acceptable drug, and that's exactly what it is. It's a drug. If you notice people who, the ultimate example, the ultimate proof that it's a drug is people go to the doctor and get a checkup, and the doctor says, if you don't change how you eat, you're literally going to die, or you're going to get diabetes, or you're going to get whatever, heart disease. And people can't change the way you eat. That's how addictive food is. And that's why, just because it's a socially accepted drug, you shouldn't take it lightly.
And it is the most powerful drug. I mean, there's the statistic is that 67% of Americans are obese, and then you have the other drugs that maybe 10% of the population are addicted to. So it's the most powerful drug, and we really need to take into account and realize that that's a drug and think about it. And there's four main ways that we use this drug. The four main ways are: one, we use it socially. So a lot of times, we'll use it as a way to socialize with our friends or our girlfriend or our boyfriend or anything. Last times we get together, we'll go out to eat or do something of that nature. Go eat dessert or ice cream. The other way is sleeping. People, will use it to sleep. Maybe you use it, right before you go to sleep. You can't sleep without it. Number three, we use it as a reward. Lots of times you'll finish doing a workout, you do something really good, and then you reward yourself with food. And last, which is one of the most common, is boredom. You'll be bored at home, and all of a sudden the next thing you know is you just devoured a cake, or you're just have nothing to do. You got done with all the deeds you had to do for the day, and you'll start eating. So those are the four main ways that we use this drug, and we're addicted to it. We haven't realized another way to deal with our sleeping or our boredom or to reward ourselves, and we use it as a drug. And when you think about it, when you realize that you're addicted to food is when you do something good, and then you think, okay, now what can I eat? Now that's when you're sort of addicted to it. So we need to find out substitutes for these four things: either the sleeping, the reward, the boredom, or social event, and substitute it with something that's better, that's not going to keep you addicted to food.
All right, so those are the most common ways that people use food as a drug. They use it for social events, they use it to cure boredom, they use it to go to sleep, and they use it for social events. Now, in order to find an alternative...
Hey, what's going on? If you're enjoying the video so far, do me a huge favor and click on the like button below. You'll get your good deed for the day out of the way. It helps me out a lot. Also, go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment. Something as simple as good video or I enjoyed the video. It really helps me out with YouTube. Alright, here's the rest of the video.
What we want to do is we want to find something that feels good, but is also good for you long term. Food is kind of what it's a lower class way to meet these needs, whether it's to get out of boredom, to get variety, to connect with people. It's a low way to do it because it feels good for the moment, but it hurts you in the long term, based on the stats of everybody who's obese and can't lose that weight. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to focus on activities that feel good for you, and everybody's going to be different, but it's also going to be good for you in the long term. So anything from exercising, maybe you really get into smoothies, like green smoothies or things like that. You get into like preparing healthy foods, maybe yoga, reading, like things that it's different for everybody. Maybe something like taking a bath where you just relax. In terms of having fun with your significant other, maybe you can go play sports, you can work out together. There's so many different things. It's going to be different for everybody. And the worksheet below will have some a list of activities that you can do. But it's important to find activities that feel good, that you enjoy just as much as you used to enjoy eating certain foods to get out of boredom, that you enjoy them, but also are empowering in terms of that they're not going to give you health problems later on in the future. So that's what we really want to do. We want to identify what specifically you use food for right now, and then you want to find an alternative, and then we want to start to integrate that into your daily routines. So if you normally, after you you work and you're leaving work, you reward yourself with a certain meal. We want to replace that and reward yourself with something that is not going to hurt you, and it's not going to get you away from your goals.
And on a more serious note, I know Alex mentioned a little earlier that there's cases proven that it's an addiction, that somebody will go to a doctor, maybe somebody in your family or somebody that you know, and they'll tell them in the next 5 years you will have a heart attack if you keep these eating habits up, and they don't stop. So you really the main point of this is that for you to understand that food is a serious drug. It's a real drug, and you can't take advantage of it. And at the end of the day, if you take advantage of this drug, just like any other drug, you can die from it. It can have serious damages to your life and the way you live. So that, in a more serious note, I just want to say that, I'm not trying to scare you, but you need to understand that it is a drug, and right now
it's just socially acceptable.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
That's what makes it the worst part.
And the only difference between this and cocaine, they honestly did research, you can Google it, where they saw that food triggers the same part of their brain that serious drugs trigger. So that the dopamine, the addiction, the thinking about it before you have it, and then the big rush and the crash and then wanting to do it all over again. The food actually triggers the same exact chemicals in your body and brain as cocaine, except that your grandmother or your mom or
they
whoever,
don't mind giving you giving you food instead of cocaine.
They don't offer you cocaine, you know what I mean? But you'll get offered. I know when I go home, my grandmother offers me food 50 times a day. Same thing with my mom, always offering me food. It's just a socially acceptable drug, and it's like a common thing where after Thanksgiving, everybody goes and takes a nap. Everybody just passes out. And it's just a super socially acceptable drug. But if you're gonna go out and you're gonna implement, you're gonna create this new lifestyle, we just want to prepare you for what's gonna happen in terms of maybe other people commenting on your new lifestyle. And it's a common thing with people that are alcoholics or do drugs. They kind of want to get you to do it with them.
Yeah. So I've had and I'm pretty sure that most of you've had it happen to you before, that you'll be out with your friends, maybe at the bar or something of that nature, and you chose that night that you're not going to drink, and like, oh no, take a drink, or on a more serious scale, maybe somebody's doing drugs and they offer you the drugs and they try to force it down you. They want you to do the drugs, and it's a social thing. They don't feel like good doing it without you doing it, and they want you to do it so they feel better about doing it. And at the end of the day, it's your choice. And if you don't want that food or want whatever they're trying to offer you, you don't do it. It's a drug, and we want to make sure that when we decide to eat food, it's because we want it, and it's not because we're craving it or it's something that we don't need.
Yeah, and it's the crabs in the barrel mentality, where you might have heard that if you put 2 or more crabs inside of a barrel, they can't climb out the barrel because they'll pull each other down. So, and in Australia, I think they have a saying called tall poppy syndrome or whatever, where like if you're growing more than everybody else, they try to chop you back down to size. So it's for whatever reason we evolved and have that mechanism inside of us where we try to bring other people down so they don't get ahead of us. And we really want to prepare you. We don't live in those times anymore where we have to lower our standards and lower what we do to please our peer group. So we just want to prepare you that if it does happen, just expect it and just ignore it, just smile and be like, whatever, we'll see how you feel later. You're probably not going to feel great. So we just want to prepare you for that, the crabs in the barrel mentality, when you find more empowering alternatives, and really make sure that if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, to not pushing on them. You don't want to be that guy who's pushing everything on everybody, but just kind of lead by example and do your thing, and don't worry about what everybody else around you is doing. Just let them see how good you feel and all your empowering results, all your great results, and don't push this on anybody. And if they want to do it with you, they'll ask you, and you can show them what you've learned.
And the first step to being able to overcome something is being aware of it. So, we've given you or you're about to get a bunch of different, techniques, how to stop cravings and other things like on top that go with the food. But this is one of the biggest steps, is being aware that food is a drug. And now that we understand that, we can beat it and we can overcome it.
Exactly. So download the worksheet below. Very simple. Find out how you've been using food, to cure boredom, social activity, however you're using food. Find 1 or 2 really empowering alternatives that you can use that feel good for the moment and are also going to help you reach your goals. And make sure you do this immediately, because it's a very dangerous thing when you just follow the crowd and you just because something's socially acceptable, doesn't mean that it's going to make you feel good. The statistics are very scary. I think it's like 50% of people get heart disease, and however many people are obese, a huge number of people are obese, and it's because food is a drug, and everybody takes it lightly. We don't want to be over dramatic here. We just want to show you the stats. We just want to tell you the truth that just because something is socially acceptable, it's not right, and you have to become aware. Like Jason says, awareness alone can be curative. Just you being aware of this can really help you to start making better choices, and 6 months, a year from now, you're living a totally different life on complete autopilot.
Hey, real quick, one more thing before you go. I want to make sure you know that there is no correlation between how hard you work and how much fat you melt or how much muscle you build. All right? There's enough science, enough data out there that there's absolutely no correlation between hard work and results. All right? There's a difference between movement and achievement. All right? If you want to learn my best tips, what I call the 5% hacks that allow you to get maximum results, maximum fat loss, maximum lean muscle gain, I want you to go to the link that's on the bottom of this page, or you can click on the link in the description. All right, you're going to get a complete system for melting fat in an intelligent and streamlined system. I'll see you there.